presentation, which is dealing with mobility in teacher education, as I already mentioned at the beginning. And that presentation will be given by Franz Stuber. He holds a diploma in economics and astonishingly a PhD in pedagogy. So that is a link to that scene. He is currently a professor at the Münster University of Applied Sciences and is the director of the Institute of Teacher Training for Vocational Education. Please, it's your stage.
Thank you, Jürgen, for the friendly introduction, and thank you once more, David, for the very interesting presentation. And sorry for my mixing it a bit, because I think we are running out a bit of time, so I didn't want to lose unnecessary time. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to be here today. After having heard and discussed a lot of technical, legal and financial issues concerning airborne wind energies, what all was interesting for me and many was new, please join me to a journey to the education field. I work as a professor in the field of teacher education and vocational didactics. Jürgen also already said at the Münster University of Applied Sciences. And I watch the AWE scene for several years now. And I want to give you an impression why and how I do this. The outline of my presentation is I want to start to say something about the context of vocational teacher education, very to show you what is the context here. Then I would introduce to the concept of ambiguity of kite and tech, and especially I want to give from the vocational education and training perspective some insight into technical analysis, target group analysis and didactic design. And I would like to finish with a resume and outlook. Where do I come from? The Münster University of Applied Sciences is one of the biggest universities of applied sciences in Germany. We have about 12,000 students now, with 12 faculties, 2 interdisciplinary institutions. My institute is one of these 2. We have several research institutes and a third-party funding volume of about 15 billion. Münster is in the northern part of North Rhine-Westphalia. Maybe I should add this information for the international tendencies. The Institute of Teacher Training for Vocational Education, where I work. A short look onto the main areas of our work. We do conceptual design, organization and evaluation of vocational teacher training programs, and this we do in cooperation with the Münster University. We do study courses in vocational didactics and vocational education, and the third part of our work is research and development in vocational and teacher education. Our main study program where we work in is teacher training for vocational schools. All our students have to study 3 subjects. There is a vocational subject, where what they study at our university. Here we have several disciplines from civil engineering, electrical engineering, information engineering, up to design technology and health and nursing. The second, the academic subject, is studies studied at Münster University. And the third discipline is educational sciences, where we share, what we share. Because the audience is not a real, I think maybe you are not very used to teacher training. Vocational subject means it's you combine an engineering discipline, but for the focus on skilled work. So you have to integrate didactics and some special kind of vocational pedagogy. So it's always one part of the study is the engineering sciences, but some special add-on. What I want to show you today is with our projects we try to do a crossing and bridging between several study subjects. During the last couple of years, we developed a framework, technology and outdoor education. This is a cross-curricular concept. Here we link experiences in different areas of sport activities with specialized subject matter using digital media. So the framework combines these three elements: experience in outdoor sports, professional curriculum issues, interactive media. We have a homepage, but if you are interested, you can go for further information to the homepage. Now I want to go further with one central project within this framework. And this is a project and wiki, Kite and Tech. Here we concentrate on kite flying and kite surfing as demanding natural sports on physical, emotional and social levels. But moreover, kiting relates to technical and social knowledge. For example, aerodynamics, meteorology, as well as, and now we are home, airborne wind energy. The wiki is our medium for our core for publishing and knowledge exchange, for networking in the educational and sports field, and also give some introduction to technologies, as for example, airborne wind energies. So let's have a look into the wiki. Hopefully it works now. The general layout is oriented on Wikimedia applications. We work with a database oriented MediaWiki software from the Wikimedia Foundation. And as Wikipedia, all our contributions in the wiki are under the Creative Commons license. Just to give an overview over the main page, on the upper side you see an animation of the sports side as well as a possible future of gaining electricity. The area professional topics comprises of several subjects of school and academic issues. For example, you find aerodynamics, meteorology, and so on. Kite history, for example, explains the use of kites over the centuries and contains a short story of Maori kites, what we developed in cooperation with colleagues from Auckland University in New Zealand. Further, we explain kite surfing as a new medium of outdoor education and give teachers a handout to organize kite excursions and field trips with their students. the area learning tasks, right here on the side, presents exercises, experiments, and media as suggestions for learning situations and lesson plans. For example, a pool of math learning tasks for different courses of study. Together with the documentation of finalized projects with our students as well as with pupils from secondary and vocational schools, a new section save the delay. Airborne Wind Energy Conference, okay, shall be updated. And some information about our partners. We established the wiki as a nucleus of our curricular work and principal means of publishing our results with students and pupils. Let us have a short look to give you a deeper impression into the section Industrial Applications. Here we realized introduction to the airborne wind energy technologies. It's based on a bachelor thesis of one of our students. So we give an introduction to the principles. You find it's all not really new for you. We try to categorize some different approaches. I think it will be updated with my impressions from this conference. That's for the moment here. I would like to continue now. There's some work in process concerning the airborne wind energy technology. Within the last year, we did some experimentally field work together with the Kite Power Group at the TU Delft, as well as with NTS in Berlin. Some of our students did examinations to get out what are the core skills if the airborne wind energy within a few years will come into the market. Then you don't only need engineers for developing and optimizing the systems, but you need technicians to run the systems, to do service and support. So we said maybe we'll have an airborne wind energy service technician. And we did some investigations. What do they have to know? What are the knowledge, technical knowledge, as well as soft skills, etc. And one rough finding is there are several applied engineering disciplines relevant, but as well as maintenance process knowledge and work process knowledge, as well as safety and environmental skills. And we also found some curricular references in different industrial locations, not in the academic level, but on the vocational education level. Especially at the mechatronic technician, the aircraft and industrial mechanic, and in several vocations of electronic applications. As a next step, we started with some didactic design in teacher education for vocational education and training. Here we started to develop some learning tasks around airborne wind energy. As, for example, the way of force from kite to public power supply, planning and maintenance processes, or the general multidisciplinary approach to integrate mechanical and electrical engineering on the one side with sports, outdoor education and economics on the other side. To give you resume and outlook, I think at the moment airborne wind energy in teacher education is at the very beginning. We have several further demands. We have to do more analyzing the work process knowledge and the relevant knowledge and skills, and we have and to transform it in qualification profiles and to develop and revise curricula. Sure, we have to prove and revise our own learning projects, but we also want to, with the help of the wiki technology, broadcast our approach and our results into the educational field, not only in the teacher education field. I think we should network in trans and international contexts and groups. So to build up a shared knowledge base, and I think the technology of the wiki could be a nucleus and a helpful medium for doing this. I would like to give you two prospects to the end. We just started a new project, peer reviewing as learning and assessment method in teacher training. Here the aim is to be more efficient to generate shared knowledge bases. This is one ongoing problem for our students. They are often too shy for an effective peer review process, and they often don't dare to publish results concerning context, in contrast to publishing their impressions. And last but not least, we find our approach is very productive when linking outdoor education, outdoor sports with the sciences. Therefore we started an initiative in the framework of MINT. MINT stands in Germany for activities to promote students' interest in the following subjects: mathematics, informatics, natural sciences and technology. And this year we started to interview MINT teachers at secondary and vocational schools and their students to find out how would they connect their study subjects to kite-related issues. So with this bottom-up approach, we follow the aim to integrate new elements from school curricula into our cross-curricular concept. Hopefully, we can present a few results in a few months. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for the interesting new thoughts about our field conference. And we're going into the questions, please.
And curricula for physics teacher education is a change at the moment, and also the curricula for pupils within the physics, within the subject of physics. There are experiments about the Karlsruhe Physik course. Do you think this is a possible topic for projects like the Karlsruhe Physik course, where physics lessons are changed, the content changed, and everything gets a little bit more excitement for students, and it's not the old-fashioned physics teaching way of teaching. Do you think this is a way where your project can take part?
This is new for me. I think it would be interesting to have a look at each other, what is your approach, and then we could decide if it's appropriate to link, either to link it to our wiki or to do some things common for updating, for making more interesting the curricula. The main focus of our wiki at the moment is not the engineering sciences for itself. This was I wanted to make clear. Our perspective is a teacher education perspective. So the engineering science is one part. So I'm not sure if we would have the power to reorganize the curricula in the engineering sciences. But I think it would be very helpful to come into contact with engineers and engineering students who are attached to the airborne wind energy topics. So then I think we could find good links and make good connections.
So we may have a talk afterwards.
Fine. Would be nice, thanks.
I hope for your understanding, we have to hurry up a little bit because I will save you some time for coffee before the final round is starting. Thank you very much. And we are coming to the next.